Well, welcome everybody to our 2024 general membership meeting. We have lots of board members here, past and present. I'm Noelle Reynolds, president of CAN. Over here, we have Colleen Tittinger, who is our current secretary. And next to her is someone we're going to vote on, Cynthia Paul, next to her. Linda Kirby's our print chair, right down there. We also have Deb Tobin, who does our fantastic newsletter every month. Jim Tobin, our vice president, next to him and also recording. And we have founding members over here, Mary Mason and Mary Jane Hadley. So we have a couple board members out tonight. One's ill. So thank you all for coming on this cold, blustery, awful, terrible December day. Awful. I want to welcome, if any of our new members are here that were screened in October, Sandra Jacobs, Cheryl Palmier, Cheryl's here, Elaine Heitzer, Rebecca Harvey, right? Lorraine Free and Deborah Walker. So welcome. They were just screened in October. I'd also like to recognize that this is our 10th year. So we've celebrated a decade as this organization. And there are a handful of 15 members who have been with us since the very beginning. I'd like to recognize Diane Bauman, Kathy Bishak, who's a founding member, Donna Boots, Dwayne Kakali, who's also a founding member, Paul Chamara, Judith Good, Mary Jane Hadley, who's a founding member here tonight, Nadia Lopitz, Karen Lovett, Mary Mason, also here and a founding member. I have been with the group for 10 years. Colin Richards, who's a founding member, Vicki Schilling, Martha Hopkins Skarlinski, and BJ Weddick. So congratulations to all of them for sticking it out with us in the evolution of Cranberry Artist Network. So here's to 10 more. First of all, I'd like to talk about our membership price increase. So we have not raised the price in the 10 years that we've been. And at looking at refreshments and the things that, printing has gone up, everything has gone up. So we increased it only by $5 for 2025. So that allows us to, have more money to work with for prizes, for refreshments. Martinis with Monet is always our biggest show of the year. And we get a lot of help with that with the Cranberry Township Community Chest. So we are having a price increase. There was, if you participated in our holiday show at Bottle Brush Gallery, when you dropped off your work, we did put a little notice when you dropped off your work. And PayPal, if you didn't pay tonight, you have the opportunity. PayPal will be active until January 31st. So you do have the opportunity. A lot of people just like to pay while they're here and then forget about it for 2025. But PayPal will be open until January 31st. So take advantage of that. Our calendar of events for 2025. So we have that almost finalized. And I'll connect it with the construction update that is the next item. We have, the outside is done. So we did tour. I was with supervisors and we did tour the whole outdoor space, and they're looking to add some public work, some public art. So that's our new project coming. And we were just trying to identify spaces where we felt that would work. So we took a walk in the cold for an hour, but we walked this whole space clear to the garden. And so there'll be a lot more information coming out about that. So we'll be looking for some bids to do some work that will be outside. So some interesting spaces coming up. But our calendar of events, you will see at some point this month. I did ask how the construction is happening in the building, and they don't anticipate the inside being completely finished until March. So I have on our calendar that blocked off from January to March. And I'll have to work with them to see what space would be available to do our show. I'm anticipating we can put up our boards and have a spring show like we always have. But what I can't see on their website yet is anybody that has stuff like the one that they always do in April, the cultural fair. Like, I don't see that on their calendar yet. So we have to be mindful and plan around some of those big building-wide events. So that's what's coming. But our calendar is mostly complete except for that first quarter of the year. So by the end of December, you will get our whole calendar of 2025 events coming up. There are some pop-up show opportunities. I think Carolyn and I were just talking. If you knew about our greenhouse show that we had, it was a one-day pop-up event at Gardner's Greenhouse. That was a smashing success, and they would love to have us back. Yes, and the greenhouse absolutely loved it as well. So looking to do that again. For those of you that are new, it was a one-day pop-up show because it was held in a greenhouse. Obviously, it's hot and humid. So it was an up and down for a 9-hour day. And they had a ton of traffic. We sold 5 pieces in just that day. We'd have to come up with a way to completely cover it because the sprinklers happen every night. They have that drip system. Yeah. Yeah. The drip system was the issue, and the humidity, so I worried more about everyone's art under glass than I did the drip system, because it is warm. I mean, that greenhouse can get to 90 degrees, but it cools at night. They open the lifts, the ceiling, but the drip system, because I did get doused taking that down. So, but that's also another opportunity. It maybe not just one day, but maybe 2 different days, 2 different weekends. So keep that in mind as well. Any questions about that before I go on? The calendar will be coming with all of our dates and registration dates for upcoming shows, because we did manage 4 shows this past year. Okay. The construction update, again, that's what's holding our calendar up, is the work being done in the hallways that you don't see, but like where you see that stair step wall, it's right out here. Our display case is behind it, and all the ceramic tile for the offices upstairs are sitting in it. So that's so the display case is not ready yet. So they're anticipating March. There now, is that it? No, that was just one that I asked them to. They're getting ready to sell that, auction that. I asked them to leave that because they couldn't have the other one ready. So the other one is twice as big, but it's hidden behind the drywall, that fake wall by the gym. You can see behind it, but it's full of ceramic tile. So, but that's the one that we'll have. Also, if you'd like to look down, I don't know what they call it now, but where the old customer service used to be, they have some bar lights that will be installed all along that walkway where we will now hang our back hall gallery. So we do need a new name, because now it's the skinny back hall gallery. I don't know what we're going to call it. And I just talked to engineering yesterday about a hanging system. So there'll be a permanent track, and we're talking about still using our display hooks that allow us to be flexible. Because what I don't think we want is a fixed system, because everybody's pieces are different sizes. So that hanging system that we have on our boards, those wires that come down and have the hooks, that allows us the greatest flexibility with size. So, so he and I are going to talk about the rail that they're going to put that allows us to, it'll be covered, and we just flip it up, and it'll be a series of hooks, and we can just hang our loops wherever we want. So I think that gives us the biggest flexibility down that 30-foot wall. So the space that's dedicated now is much bigger than the back hall gallery. So nice additions that they're, including us in all of this construction. So that's a big bonus. Okay. Also, I would like to hold a vote to confirm Cynthia Paul as our new secretary. We're going to split duties with Pauline, and Cynthia's going to take over our meetings. So she would be present at our board meetings and do all of our work as far as recording meetings and sending out notices for meetings. So I would like to call a vote. Anybody that is in favor, say aye. Anybody abstain? Great, yay, welcome, Cynthia. Welcome.
Say thank you, and my name is Cynthia, but if everybody just call me Cindy.
Cindy, okay.
Thank you. Thank
Cindy. Well, welcome, Cindy, to the board. Yes, we have fun on Zoom. On Zoom. Okay. That's all I have. I will jump in for some of the other parts of this for people that are not here. But I'll turn that over to Jim if he has anything to report.
Cool. I would like to report on all of these meetings and talks get put on our YouTube channel. Right now, I think we have 48 subscribers. If you're not already a subscriber, sign up. There's a lot of cool videos there.
Including our presenter tonight. Great. Okay. Treasurer's report was from Marcy. Our balance was 1651.23. And we're always looking for people to fill board positions. This is also one of them. Tax report's been filed for 2024. We do that in May. We still, even though we're a nonprofit, we still file a 990N tax report. We're required to, since we're a 501c3. We've never been audited because there's not much to audit, so that's great. But our current balance, again, is 1651.23. Committees, membership, Gaudi. Okay.
We also plan to do online stream, but only March and October.
I will say, as a reminder, membership dues are due by January 31st. Then if you miss that deadline, then you would have to rescreen as a new member in March. So just as a reminder, don't let it lapse, and then you'd have to rescreen. Okay, exhibitions. Vicki Schilling stepped down. So we obviously need people to fill positions. The board talked about splitting this into two chair positions, which I think would be easier. I mean, obviously more people to do two jobs is easier, but we're talking about splitting that. So someone that would deal with the 3 major shows that we have a year, and then someone to take care of the back hall gallery, which is a month. It's 12 months. It's 1 month per member. So any member can sign up for a month and use the back hall gallery to have your own personal show. It's a member perk. It's available any month of the year. The fact that they've reached out to me about the hanging system, I'm hopeful that maybe January we could have our inaugural first back hall gallery. That has been on hiatus since the construction, because I think where we're sitting is where the back hall gallery used to be. I think it's literally where we are sitting, where the tax office used to be. And so that shut down fairly quickly when they started construction. And so we have not had that space available since Martinis with Monet 2023. So hopefully, if it's something that you're interested in, exhibitions, and obviously we all help with that. Exhibitions would just be coordinating those major shows, and the back hall gallery exhibition person would just be lining up those artists, making sure that they hang the work on the first of the month, take it down on the last day of the month. if they want to have a little reception, they can, just coordinating that with the township. So we're looking to divide those two positions. So if you have good organizational skills and think that that's something, you could work with, we would love to have you, because we have 8 board members and we can't slice and dice us any farther down. So we're always looking for people to take positions. We only meet once a month on Zoom, so it's not a road time commitment. It's about an hour and a half once a month, and then setting up those gallery shows for the year. So if you're interested, please let me know. Any questions about that? If you're interested, please see me after the meeting. I would love to get you signed on, because it's something that we really desperately need, because we also need someone for programs. And that's, again, finding speakers and twice a year. So that's not a terrible commitment, but we'd love to have that as well. Public relations, I'll move on because Kathy is not here. Effective January 1st, 2025, all publicity where photos of artwork are included or requested. A waiver must be signed that holds Can harmless if photos are copyrighted or the property of a professional photographer. Articles will still be sent out for publicity and printing. However, without a waiver, pictures will not be included. Unless it's just an iPhone picture of you next to your artwork that somebody took, we have to have a waiver that it is not a professional copyrighted photo. So that's new. That's to protect us. It's happened in another organization, and it costs a lot of money to fix. So the waiver is, just going to hold us harmless. If we do any PR from you, we will no longer just go on a website and take a photo to put with your PR. For anything that we send to the newspapers, to North Pittsburgh Connections, all the magazines that we send to. Kathy sends to at least a dozen organizations that publish our events. And without those waivers, we'll certainly pass along the information. There just won't be any photos unless we are held not liable for copyrighted professional photos. So.
And just as Kathy has told us, so yeah, if she sends out a story and it does have photos connected to it, the newspapers are more likely to pick it up. So it's to the artist's benefit if you do sign a waiver.
Right. Right.
You have to sign the waiver for each time you take a picture. You should or if I take a picture. We're talking about when she's doing PR, like news programs.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not talking about our newsletter because that's something we control. We're talking about external, Butler Eagle, Cranberry Eagle, North Pittsburgh Connection Magazine, external.
We're talking about somebody having a photo that we grab off of their website that was taken by a outside photographer who has some
Copyrights.
restriction on how it copyright.
Yep.
That shouldn't be used anywhere else.
And you can't tell by the photograph on the website if it's got a copyright, because it looks like every other photo until the photographer sends a cease and desist letter that says you're using my work, and it's not noted anywhere. It doesn't show on the, some photos you realize you can grab and some you can't. You just, right click, try to copy. You don't know. And so it's happened in a sister organization that, took a big hit. And so we're just going to CYA to make sure that our PR person and our artists are not subjected to litigation, because that's where that was headed. So just an FYI, it'll be a simple waiver that, that we'll be able to send to you electronically. And we can probably even set it up to where all you do is sign it online, but at least we have a record, or you can, scan it back to us in a photo, as long as we have a record that you're not holding us, you're holding us harmless for the photo. Yeah. Yep. We could do that. Yeah, we could do that. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, just make a note. Okay, website development, again, if, I know some people have struggled with the website, please understand that, the website is, PayPal's a third-party system on our second-party website. So even if you don't have a PayPal account, I know people have said, oh, I don't have a PayPal. PayPal is just a masking of your own credit card. So you can pay for shows or dues, or you can pay with your credit card. PayPal is just a third party that masks your Visa, but you still can pay. I know there was some confusion that, I don't have a PayPal account. PayPal is tied to your credit card. You can just use your credit card. So if you want to pay that way. So it is possible. Programs, again, we still need someone. We have been, I think, 2 years without a program person. If you would like to fill this position, it's getting speakers to come and speak with us in May and December. You get to meet a lot of really cool artists, see a lot of nice presentations, and you're our liaison for our programs, which is great to bring in people like Laura, who's going to speak with us tonight and share her wealth of information. Our plein air group kind of runs itself. So even though it falls under programs, the plein air group's pretty tightly organized and, kind of runs itself, which is great. They have Claire Torso, if you're interested, runs that. Right. Right. About where they're going. May. I think it's May. Yeah. And that'll be on the calendar events that you'll see. And I can actually add her email address as well. And then the open drawing studio. I know Mary Jane works with Kathy on that. Okay. Sort of, yeah.
We're not gonna do it in January because the weather's so iffy and the models are professional. They usually. So we have a model in February.
Okay.
And it's first, when.
First Tuesday.
And we give the model.
Stipend.
She's there until 10 and they drive up to the 10.
Okay.
And they're really good with like soft music. And we don't have to really have great drawing skills and we don't see the work. But it's a nice group. Sometimes we go out to lunch afterwards, so join us.
And you don't actually have to draw either. I know you could sculpt, you wouldn't have to. Yeah, you wouldn't have to just draw. You could sculpt. Some people, do all different mediums. So it's not just 2D. So take advantage of that. Right. Yeah, it's an open studio. Yeah. Oh, and they are closed models. Closed models. Right. Yeah. Well, they have it here in the township building, and that would set the township on fire if we had a new model in the township building. So yeah, but it is a closed model. Right, right, right. Okay, I don't want to be too late because I want Laura to have all the time that she needs. Is there any old business from our May meeting that was nice and warm and toasty? Okay, any new business? Okay. Mhm. When you hear, yeah. I remember Mary, I think this was your, yeah. I mean, I can ask, I think. It might be their hours. It might be the township is not even open. Well, it's the library that dictates the weird hours. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can certainly ask, and I honestly, I can't remember the reason why we didn't. Because the trees, I think we are up until, the trees are up until. And yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I can't even remember because we've spent now 2 holiday shows at Bottle Brush. So, and I'd like to recognize MJ McCurdy, and Bottle Brush for hosting us kind of last minute because I, scrambled because I said, can they accommodate our boards for a Christmas show? And they said they were in that hallway working, it was too narrow. So, kudos to, Bottle Brush Gallery for happily hosting us for a second year in a row. So I'm real appreciative of her. If you haven't been up to see her gallery, please visit. I mean, it's a local artist with a local gallery. And we're so appreciative because she accommodates everything that we need. So I haven't talked. Yes. There were 2 sold the night of the opening. I know that. I haven't either. I haven't either. Yes, all sales go through her. Yes. And that was one of the benefits is if you sell a work, it's an 80-20, the artist gets 80%, but then we turned over the 20% to the gallery. So she's hosting, she's manning the gallery. So anything else for the good of the order? Here the back here. It's a land. Carol, you get the award for best gift. Yeah. That's, she makes metal rings as part of her sculpture this year, so. Yeah. Geez, and there's not even any alcohol here. All right, anybody have anything else? Because otherwise we're gonna adjourn for 5 minutes and then, yes, Marcy has put a nice spread out for us. 5 minutes and we'll get Laura Stewart, who's gonna present for us tonight.